You used toilet paper this morning without thinking about it, but toilet paper has only existed for about 150 years, which means for the other 2 million years of human existence, humans had to figure something else out. What they came up with will make you very grateful for modern plumbing, and occasionally very confused about how any of us survived. Let's start at the very beginning, with the earliest humans. For early prehistoric humans, the answer was simple. Whatever was available: leaves, grass, moss, smooth stones, water from a nearby river, snow if it was winter, no preferences, no rituals, just whatever was closest. Throughout history, people have used everything from their own hands to corn cobs to snow to clean up after bowel movements. Archaeologists believe water was probably the most common method for most of human prehistory, which, as it turns out, is actually more hygienic than wiping, a fact that much of the world still practices today. Now let's go to ancient China, because China gave us the oldest recorded hygiene solution ever found. In 1992, archaeologists excavating a site on the ancient Silk Road in northwest China made a surprising discovery. They found 7 bamboo or wood sticks wrapped with cloth and designed to be used for wiping in a latrine area. The cloth on the 2,000-year-old sticks was covered with what looked to be human excrement, and microscopic analysis of the feces confirmed that they contained a variety of parasites found in human intestines. These were hygiene sticks, the world's oldest known wiping tool. Used like a small spatula, applied, cleaned, and used again. The microscopic analysis revealed they also contained a variety of intestinal parasites, which tells us the cleaning process was not entirely effective. China was also the first civilization to actually invent paper, and the first to use it for hygiene. The first documented use of toilet paper was in 6th century China. In 1391, a Chinese emperor ordered the production of 2 by 3 foot scented sheets of paper that he and his family used in the restroom. The emperor had 2 by 3 foot scented bathroom paper. Meanwhile, the rest of the world was still using sticks and stones. Now let's talk about ancient Greece and Rome, because what they did will genuinely shock you. Privacy and proper sanitation were scarce luxuries in the ancient Romans' public restrooms. Their outdoor communal restrooms, called latrines, had no dividing walls, and people's cleaning methods would certainly not hold up to sanitation standards today. They talked, did business deals, discussed politics, all while using the bathroom together. And what did they use to clean themselves? A tersorium, a stick with a sponge on one end, was left in public bathrooms for communal use. People cleaned the tersorium by dumping it in a bucket of salt or vinegar water, or by dipping it in running water that flowed beneath the toilet seats. One tersorium, shared between everyone in the public latrine. The most famous story about a tersorium involves a Roman gladiator who, rather than face execution, grabbed the communal bathroom sponge and shoved it down his own throat. He chose death by tersorium over death in the arena, which tells you something about ancient Roman life. The ancient Greeks used harsher methods: stones called pessoi and ceramic pottery shards called ostraka. Archaeologists have found pessoi with traces of feces on them, and an ancient wine cup actually depicts a man using one. Sometimes, as a form of vengeance, the broken shards would have the names of enemies inscribed on them. The original one-star review. Now let's go to medieval Europe, because medieval Europeans had a surprisingly class-based approach to bathroom hygiene. The wealthy used soft cloth rags, while common folk used moss, leaves, hay, or straw. Medieval monks, who were known for their cleanliness, used bundles of dried herbs and grass. In winter, when nothing grew, snow was a common solution across northern Europe and Russia. Now let's cross the ocean to the ancient Americas, because North American settlers had one of the most creative solutions ever recorded: corn cobs. Dried corn cobs were widely used across North America for centuries. They were apparently effective, widely available, and reusable. Things eventually evolved. Later in the 1800s, North Americans used newspapers and mail-order catalogs like the Sears Roebuck catalog. Now let's talk about the Middle East and South Asia, because this region had arguably the most hygienic approach of all: water and the left hand. For centuries, water in the left hand have been the primary method for cleansing across the Middle East and South Asia, a practice that remains common today. And in terms of actual hygiene, science confirms it is more effective than dry wiping. This is also why, in many cultures, the left hand is considered unclean, and why you never eat, shake hands, or pass things with your left hand. A rule that made complete practical sense given what the left hand was used for. So when was actual toilet paper invented? The first commercial toilet paper was sold in the United States in 1857 by a man named Joseph Gaiety. He sold it as Gaiety's medicated paper, marketed as a medical product to prevent hemorrhoids. Each sheet had his name watermarked on it. Joseph Gaiety was very proud of his toilet paper. It did not immediately catch on. For decades, people continued using newspapers and catalogs instead. Toilet paper only became standard in American homes after World War II, which means your grandparents or great-grandparents were among the first generations to grow up with toilet paper as a normal part of life. Something most people never think about for even 1 second while using it. Ancient humans spent 2 million years figuring out what to do without toilet paper. They used stones, sticks, sponges, corn cobs, snow, leaves, water, and pottery shards with enemy names on them. They managed, they adapted, they survived. And the next time you reach for that roll, maybe take just 1 second to appreciate that you are not using a shared Roman sponge on a stick. That is genuinely something to be grateful for.